showtime.
It's showtime. And here we go.
Welcome into another episode of the Movie Geek Podcast. I'm your host, George G, and this is the weekend box office report. Well, I was going to do a double feature one with my most anticipated movies for the month of October, but there are too many to narrow down to 5, so we're just going to skip this one this year, this month, because it's just there's too many. I literally had like 15 movies that I wanted to see. I can't narrow it down to 5, so there is that. So I will be talking about those movies that I am interested in each and every week. So, with that being said, there is a lot of movies coming out this weekend, but first we're going to look at the box office report from last weekend, and I gotta say I'm a little surprised by a few things. First off, we're going to look at the 5th movie on the list, which is Strangers Chapter 2. On its opening weekend, made $5.9 million. So I figured it was going to do some good numbers because The Strangers has been a really good series of movies. The Conjuring Last Rites finishes 4th. It was 3rd at $6.8 million. The last 2 weeks, number 1, Demon Slayer, fell all the way to 3 at 7.1. And then 2 new additions from last weekend. Number 2 was Gabby's Dollhouse, $13.7 million. So again, it was a Nickelodeon show, so it was definitely a kids movie, and the families went out and saw it. And finally, One Battle After Another, which I figured Paul Anderson directed it, and it looked pretty good. It made $22 million. So, with that being said, the dramatic fall of Him. Him dropped from the 2nd spot to all the way down to 6, making $3.6 million. So the reviews have been terrible for this movie. I still want to go see it, but I don't know. It's a tough call at this point. Also, a big drop. A big, bold, beautiful journey. The Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell movie dropped all the way down to 10th from its 6th place. So some weird drops in there, but that is the box office. It's constantly changing, and you never know. All right, so here is this weekend's box office. It has a bunch of re-releases coming out. Avatar: The Way of the Water. Let's see, GoldenEye. I know it's a huge anniversary for the Bond film. So Casper as well, another kids horror movie, also celebrating an anniversary, and a movie called Perfect Blue as well. So you have all of those movies making an appearance in the theaters this weekend. Opening today was on Prime, Play Dirty. This is the Mark Wahlberg movie with Robert Downey Jr., Tony Shalhoub, and Keegan-Michael Key. I will definitely be seeing this, so I will have a review on it this week. A ruthless thief and his expert crew stumble onto the heist of a lifetime that pits them up against the New York mob. So I know they've been promoting it so much, and so I'll definitely be watching it. It's on Prime, so I will definitely be seeing it. Shudder continues the VHS movies. This was a kind of a, I want to say, um, kind of a underrated horror kind of genre kind of movie. So they've been slowly putting these out with the VHS name. So this one is called VHS Halloween. It is a collection of Halloween themed video tapes. Unleashed a series of twisted, blood-soaked tales, turning trick or treat into struggles for survival. So again, there's been a lot of these VHS movies. It's kind of like what National Lampoon was, where they just kept throwing National Lampoon in front of movies that had nothing to do with it, but it was just because there was a name there. So VHS has kind of kept that going with those. All right, and now in small releases, I'm laughing because this movie is called Scared Shitless. A blue-collar plumber takes his son on a seemingly routine house call to help him overcome his germophobia. Um, of course, they're forced to get their hands dirty on a genetically altered creature. Uh, swims through the pipes, uh, killing the building's tenants, in increasingly grisly fashion. I'm sorry, I had to laugh through all of that. I know that's going to sound really awful, and you guys are going to be like, "What? He couldn't read that?" No, it's just the dumbest thing. Again, the the movie title itself is pretty funny, and then it's about a shit monster. It's genetically altered. Um, I don't know. But that'll be in very small release, so it'll probably be on Shudder or Tubi, probably very soon after that. So there's some documentaries coming out this weekend as well. Um, Orwell, 2 plus 2 equals 5. This is the story of George Orwell, or the later half of George Orwell's career. So he had a very interesting career, and it's worth a look if you're into documentaries. A French movie called The Ice Tower is coming out in limited release. This is a different adaptation of Snow White, where um, there is a girl who watches the play of Snow White and dreams of wanting to be the evil witch. So, um, next, so these are some interesting movies this weekend. But Fairyland, which actually was made in 2023, but is now actually debuting in theaters this year. A young girl recounts growing up in San Francisco in the 70s and 80s with her gay father. Well, again, the obviously San Francisco, back then was not a good place to be if you were gay. So this is a very interesting movie told from the little girl's perspective of her childhood. So it is definitely worth a look if you are looking for a good, I don't want to say, I don't know if I want to say good, but a, a representation of what San Francisco looked like, dealing with the academic. So then we got some horror movies, of course. This is spooky season after all. We got Good Boy. So this has been critically acclaimed. So I definitely want to check this out when it gets to streaming. I don't know how big a release it's going to be this weekend, but we'll see. A man moves into a new home that has supernatural forces lurking in the shadows as dark entities start to threaten him. His brave dog comes to the rescue. It looks very interesting, so I definitely will um, be checking this out. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to see it and review it. If not, I'll have it probably in a watch or skip episode. I'm still working on that. I have plenty of movies that, and probably I might add some TV shows because I've almost finished all the TV shows I've been watching, unless there's still episodes left. So the next movie is Coyotes. Justin Long and Kate Bosworth are in this movie. Um, trapped by their Hollywood Hills, trapped in their Hollywood Hills home, a family fights for survival when caught between a raging wildfire and a pack of crazy coyotes. Uh, think like Barbarian, but with coyotes, basically. So it looks pretty interesting. So I will definitely want to check that out. All right, then we've got Bone Lake. This movie is definitely snuck up on me, and it looks pretty interesting. Um, I think this has a lot to do with the Airbnb stuff, where people double booked, uh, or the non-privacy part that Verbo. Um, I've gone through Verbo. I've never gone through Airbnb when I've had to go anywhere. Um, so, but this is quite a chilling look at. Um, it's kind of crazy. So here, I'll read it. Diego, played by Marco Pigzo, and Sage, played by Maddie Haskins. A romantic weekend at a secluded lakeside estate gets upended when they are forced to share the mansion with a mysterious and attractive couple. Their dream getaway soon turns into a nightmare maze of sex, lies, manipulation, as terrorizing secrets come to light, triggering a bloody battle of survival. So this looks very intriguing, and I know that if I've got a chance to see it, I will definitely take a look at it. That's for sure. Uh, another, uh, this is a bigger release with, it is a documentary. Uh, Are We Good? This is the life and times of comedian Marc Maron, comedian and podcast pioneer, on loss and growth after the death of his partner, Lynn uh, Shelton. So, again, it is a documentary about Mark and how he kept going with his comedy stuff and pioneered his podcast. So it looks very good. Finally, the big movie for the weekend is The Smashing Machine. This stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt. MMA fighter Mark Kerr reaches the peak of his career, but faces personal hardship along the way. So, um, obviously, TKO and WWE are together. TKO also owns MMA, so it was a easy fit to tell the story of Mark with the Rock who is you know, undoubtedly one of the top WWE stars, or was WWE stars in the world. So there are your movies for this weekend, and I must say that um, there's some good movies this weekend. And again, all the re-releases. I don't know. I don't know how the weekend's going to play out with the box office, because there have been major swings. Now we've got re-releases. This is also spooky season, so as we get through October, as we continue down October, there will be probably re-releases of horror movies. So it's just going to be all over the place. But again, there's so many movies coming out this month that are so good. I couldn't narrow them down. Couldn't narrow it down. So that is it for this episode. It's a short and sweet one. Again, I have been working on a skip and watch one with some of the movies, but I've been getting through all of my TV shows. Alien Earth was so good. I think I'm going to do look for that review and where I think Aliens is going from here. I think I did one last year. I'm going to have to look that up. Also, with spooky season here, if you would like to listen to 2 really good podcasts episodes from last year, go back to season 1. I will try to link them here at the end of the episode, where you can listen to the history of horror and also top horror movies to watch through October. And of course, now we are in that time now where every channel is going to be playing horror movies. Rotten Tomatoes just came out with their top 100 list for this year, and it included 2024's. I might do a separate episode on that, but it is free-flowing. So they just put in him and The Long Walk into those slots. So I'm trying to weed out the 2024 stuff and go with the 2025 stuff. So I'm working through that. But anyway, thanks all for watching, and I will see you all at the movies.
You like that, baby? Let him know where I came from, yeah!
See you next time. Bye.
Waiting for you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's all, folks.